Now our next session is pretty cool. So we've heard today from experienced people, right? And we all sometimes get into our head, you know, people kind of get to the end game and they've been really successful, and we forget that they started from somewhere before, and that there's got to be a starting point and build up. So I'm going to introduce, or welcome up to the stage, Grayling and Trevor, which are there, and they're going to take you through building equity.
Thank you for that. Just to clarify, it's Trevor G.
Oh, sorry.
It's just the Irish pronunciation.
I can't.
That's why I'm here, because I'm bilingual. I can speak Kiwi
I
and Irish.
I don't even understand what you're telling me now. You're
I normally get told that I speak too fast. I often put it back that you listen too slow. So, and that's absolutely my pleasure to be up here today and to chair this session. And today we're going to hear from Will Grayling on his equity growth and how he structured his business to do that. So he's going to speak for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to have a 10-minute question time after that. So I'll pass it over to Will. Thank you.
Excuse me, thanks Trevor. To be fair, I got asked to speak a wee while ago, and after someone else couldn't quite make it. And when I finally found the program order, and I was looking through, pretty impressed with some of the speakers. I come across two guys that I thought were, real experts in their field. Brendan Horner, I've met a few times in Ireland. And have a lot of respect for him. And obviously John Roach in New Zealand. Two guys right at the top of their game. And I was coming out here to speak after him. I was a fair bit nervous to be fair. And, but luckily for me, they spent the whole hour and a half speaking in Irish, so nobody even understood a word they said. So here I am, and here to deliver my experience. We make mistakes, and it's great to see a lot of other young guys sort of in my situation out there. And what I want to do with you guys is speak a little bit about what myself and my wife Kim have done, and our partners along the way, and some of the key principles I think that have helped us get to where we are, and a few of the mistakes that we've made along the way as well. So just a quick brief background on where we've come and where we've got to. So this is just a brief timeline of what's happened. So I'm from the Waikato originally, and came down to Lincoln and did a few years there, and spent a year out of Lincoln down in Southland working as for Farm Right as a consultant, as a trainee consultant for a start, and then as a consultant. But decided that what I really liked was getting my hands dirty and being out, and the challenge of being out there and farming. So moved back to Canterbury and spent 2 years managing a farm for what was Spectrum Group, and so 2 years on 750 cows, and then an opportunity came up next door for the same group to milk 1,600 cows, and took that reasonably naively, thinking I'd just be able to walk straight into do that and do everything exactly the same as I did. So learned a few lessons along the way there. The whole time for me, being part of dairying, etc., is not just milking the cows, but being part of the business. So I really wanted to push for that, and I was forever pushing my case that why it'd be a great idea for them to let me be part of the business. And then an opportunity arose for us when Jim Vanderpoel, one of the three main founders of Spectrum Group, left that group and took our farm as part of his equity going out of that. That created an opportunity for us to purchase into that business, and I'll go into a little bit further on as to what we've set up there. So we went in there in 2013, and a few other opportunities have come along the way. Jim also took the farm next door as some of his equity, so an opportunity came up for us to run that one as well. So we did that, we took that, and Murphy's Laws, straight after that the neighbouring block came up for sale as well. So that seemed like a good idea at the time as well. So we had a period of quite rapid growth through 2013, 14, and partly into 15. But when you're young and all these people have made lots of money, and so we got into dairying at $8.40 payout. I thought, Jesus, a bit like Leonie's story earlier on. Geez, this is bloody easy. You just buy the neighbours. You don't have to put any more equity in. The bank gives it all to you. This is really great. And then 6 months later, got a pretty good reality check when we were getting half the milk price. So we did that, and now we've consolidated. At the moment, we're milking 2,400 cows through an 80-bale shed, and another 900 cows next door. So 3,300 cows, and have set up a reasonably novel structure, as it were, but the key things that I wanted to do to set it up was get the benefits of the share milker, of 50-50 share milking that a lot of you are well aware of, and potentially some of those opportunities had diminished over time. So we really wanted to reinvigorate that. But I also, one of the benefits of working with the Spectrum Group is I had full management of the full farm and the full accounts, etc. So I could always see what the impact of having a 50-50 share milker on was going to have on the land owning side of it. So rather than trying to 50-50 share milk the whole agreement, which I knew Jim and Sue probably weren't that keen on. Jim's a reasonably good businessman, so he probably wasn't going to be too keen on me doing that well out of it. So we landed on this arrangement here. The basis of it was we backed ourselves to go out to the market and get a 500 cow 50-50 job. So we originally set that up at 28%, and so we're 28%. We get our 500 cow share milking job, and Jim at that stage had 1,300 cows run at the same level as a 50-50 share milk. So that was something we thought was reasonably unique and sort of a win-win. And I guess a lot of the theme around the talk is that, and was mentioned earlier, is that the opportunities are large, but what they'll look like is really up to you guys. Nobody walked in and said this is the model you should do, and I'm not going to tell you that this is the model you should do. You need to come up with what do you want, what do other people want, and where can we meet in the middle. Jim really pushed for the share milker to own part of the land company, and we're really happy that we did that in the end, and it keeps good alignment through the share milker through into the land ownership. And the biggest thing with our arrangement, and a lot of you guys out there will relate to me, is that you have bugger all to start with, and we only talked about it earlier. It is bloody hard to make a start and to get anywhere. Anyone can turn $1 million into $2 million, but to go from nothing into something is really, really hard, but also really, really rewarding. So you sit here and you look at this company, or the company as a whole, you're sitting talking, and some of the guys up here before, tens of millions of dollars, and you're sitting back in the audience going, gee, well, I've got a car, so that's worth nothing, and I've got an education, well, that's worth nothing too, really, and you just don't have any cash, so you've really got to scrimp and save, and what we've done through here is a lot of leveraging, etc., and it's been really beneficial to us. So, we talked a little bit about opportunities now, and a little bit of sentiment around the dairy industry. If you read the papers all the time, you get pretty, you could get down in the dumps, etc. And I think, we talked about it earlier in the ANZ slide about business confidence following whole milk price parity. What a stupid thing for business confidence actually to follow. That's just your income. You need to be confident the whole time. And then these things, you won't listen to all these things. You'll say, I've got a good business. That guy out there needs my help. This is the opportunity. Let's go do this. And so how do you go about doing it? I guess. And I thought I'd put in these pretty cool slides that I based on. So it looks like everybody else has put the same slide in their presentation. So we won't need to spend too much time on it, but. The key principles on our business is operating costs and pasture harvested. One we do slightly better than the other, but always working on these. So the red line is us, but that's everything I was taught growing up through Lincoln, etc. And still firmly believe that farm working expenses and pasture harvested per hectare, that they are the key drivers of dairy business. And then that flows in, gives you cash, and then what you can do with that cash. But so you've got those basics right. So you can control them at a management level. The next key one, and again was alluded to earlier, it's the beauty of going later in the day. You get to repeat what everybody else has already said. People is it is probably the most important, especially trying to scale up. And I guess it's become more and more evident to us. And these guys look like a bunch of misfits, really, but actually in here, sit some really well-respected farmers and guys that have got a lot more knowledge and experience, etc., than I have. So partnering with them to take ourselves further, and they also can't do it without us. This is down at Taupeg Station, a runoff that the farms have a shareholding in. So we wouldn't. Our partnership works really well with Jim and Sue Vanderpoel, who were up there earlier, because we share the same values, etc. And we're very compatible, but also we don't want to just be average. We are striving to be really good and striving for continual improvement. So if you want to just sit back and relax, or you've got a partner that is not too worried, it's probably not going to last. You really want to align those values, and that I bring the energy, and I'm pretty sure it's mainly just because it makes Jim feel young again when he sees Kim and I back out there, with all the enthusiasm, etc. And sometimes he must just go home pulling his hair out, just thinking, what's this guy up to all the time? But just lets it go because the enthusiasm, etc., and just tries and channels that, for our benefit and for theirs, obviously, as the major shareholder. Clear expectations are really important. If you're going into business with someone and all they want is dividends, and you're at the early stage of your career, and all you want to do is reinvest it back into the land, it may not work. So make sure you've got those expectations well laid out, and that you believe them and work with them. The key one here, I think, at the bottom is work hard to find the people. A lot of people would say, there's no opportunities out there or whatever, or there's all this talk about farmers getting aging, etc., and they're going to give their farms away, etc. But you have to go out there and find them. They're not going to come knocking your door. My father is 60 and just waiting for someone to come as driver. There's no way he's going to go find somebody. The right person drove up his driveway and said, I'm going to do this, this and this. All of a sudden he's going to stop and think. But he's got 10 friends in exactly the same position. He loves still farming. So if you walked up his driveway and said, I really think you're a great farmer, and this doesn't leave the room. But you're really a great farmer, and he still thinks he's a good farmer. Then that's great. But you're going to do the business around him. But it's those sort of situations that are out there. But you have to go find them. You're not going to find them sitting at home milking the cows. You've got to get out, and like most of you are already here, etc. So you've made the right step there already. A big thing that we like to focus on in our partnership is this thing about win-win. It's because I'm not very eventful of coming up with something that's more inspiring than win-win. But like I talked about earlier when I was with Spectrum Group, I could see the whole financials of the business, and we could also see the financials of all the other farming businesses within that. So any model that I was coming up with, I could always see the impact on the farm owner's side. I think that's really important as a younger person going out and saying, I want to go contract milking, or I want to go share milking. It's having an expectation of what the impact that is on the farm owner. What frustrates me is guys think that they should, I need $300,000 a year to grow my equity. Most farms don't have a spare $300,000 that they can give to you and meet all their other requirements, or whatever the numbers are. So this just illustrates it. We set up originally, so there's 18 cows there, represents 1,800 cows that we started with. We had different opportunities to grow, and do you want to own your own farm? My mother said to me, close the doors again. She said, you'll want to own your own farm one day, won't you? I said, well, I do own my own farm. It's just that it's this piece here. But it's just a different mindset that for the 2 days a year Jim comes down, it's his farm, and for the other 363 days the whole thing's mine. So, to me, that's a win-win. But we chose to grow, and rather than just growing our share of the pie, we chose the growth option of growing the whole pie as well as, because we get so much benefit from having Jim and Sue in our business, that if we move to this model here, we start dominating the business, it changes things hugely. And their interest, everything they've got at stake diminishes a lot, and so you start to get tensions, etc., Whereas here, Jim and Sue are still by and far the larger shareholder, and so they're hugely involved, etc. in what we do, and obviously that puts under pressure too. But huge pressure to perform because it's a massive part of their business. So we think that's been really successful in our business, and I think that's standing the model for the test of time thus far. We're 5 years in, which is not really that long, but we haven't seen a change there yet, and potentially we could have. I guess it's a little one I'm probably struggling with. You go through that big thing of expansion, etc., and everybody's where to next, and I guess we sometimes haven't actually had that much time to stop and really think about it. But we put some of these things. I guess the whole reason you do it is to create flexibility. Greg talked about it earlier, and I guess really Greg is he's got things a lot more sorted than I have, and I run around like a blue ass fly. He just runs and does ultra marathons because he's that much more organised than I am. So, partnering in another farm, finding some new people, etc., that we can go partner with, do it again, keep that enthusiasm going, etc., and not getting stale. But equity is obviously always the limiting factor. Doing some other things. The main one you do it for is for family and for children, and I guess that's the huge driver. And we see growth as giving us that flexibility in the long run. We had on here buy a holiday house, but Kim thought it would be much more relevant to the audience to call it investing in a holiday house. So, but not everything is done purely on business. There's some other personal factors that you always have to take into account. The big one for me is, I remember I was at a side conference actually, and we always talk about growing equity, etc. And you see guys stand up here that've got multi-farm businesses and very, very successful. But you don't sit there, we are now and say, well, I can't, geez, that's bloody hard. They got $70 million worth of farm. How the hell am I going to do that? But the biggest decision I made was go make a start. And for me, putting that tag with the Grayling name in it, and the cow's ear, that not only ticked financial boxes, investment boxes, but that really resonated with me. That I've started my own business, and this is why I do it. We bought cows because low equity for a start, reasonably highly liquid, reasonable return. But the main reason is that we love cows. They're awesome things to deal with. What better business than an animal that you milk? She gives you an income, and she has a calf to replace herself and some afterwards. So what better way to start a business? And I guess for me, this was a really, this picture sort of highlights, the difference. This is us in Singletree. This is the name of our farm, and I guess, I actually bought this. There was 30 cows that I bought off my father, and I think he probably took a bit of pride out of that as well. And to me, that succession is that we just could have been any old cow, but we took some cows from home. It's the same genetics, and this is more just sort of emotional rather than actual anything. Finance or anything, but the emotional side of starting that genetics and starting our own herd in the South Island, to me, that's succession, and I guess we're really enjoying the journey along the way. And I guess it's all about the journey, and the destination is just a secondary part of it. So I guess the challenge to you guys out there and everybody that is in our position and has been in our position, etc., is just go make that first step, and you'll make a few mistakes, etc. But once you make it, once the first step's done, the second step becomes easier and easier. So good luck with it.
Yeah, thanks, Will, for that. Really keen to get some feedback from the audience and ask some questions. Got 2 roving mics going, so get your hands up. We'll get that mic to you straight away.
Just with you showed the preferred growth option there. How do you get to the point, like Jim and Sue obviously aren't going to live forever, how does succession start happening there for you?
You never know whether they might live forever or not. It's pretty resilient sort of people. So how does succession look? To be honest, we haven't really gone that far through, but I guess the goal or the aim is to get in a position so when that happens, we're in a position to take up the rest of that ownership. and we don't talk about that, necessarily openly. We do share the goal that, Jim and Sue are happy to see us keep going up through it. I prefer to actually expand the business and remain, 50-50 if we could get to that stage, but growing the business so when the time comes, we're in a position to then take up the slack in that. And I guess that's, for the meantime, we get massive benefit out of having them, so I'm in no rush to get rid of them. But keen, that's why we want to keen to grow the business in other avenues, so we can take when that situation arrives, that we can.
Another question at the top.
So as you've gone with the joint venture path forward rather than the conventional 50-50, what systems do you have in place to avoid conflict between both parties? To avoid it, and what do you do if there is conflict of interest, where you want to go in the future?
Thanks, Will. I guess the key thing around the conflict of interest is that the share milker owns the land company, and so the shareholdings are slightly different, but we always view it as a whole business, and the bank views it as a whole business for equity, etc. So that helps remarkably. When we couldn't have done it without that, because we just leveraged to the hill.
I think you're getting some sort of offers on the screen up here.
and so, for us it's always been very easy, Will, that we just view it as a farm, as if we owned the whole farm. And Jim and Sue, we had a meeting last Friday, and I was suggesting some capital improvements for something. I was like, well, the benefits, probably for the share milker, should they pay for it? I was like, well, they're like, well, it's not really, that's not a share milking cost, that's a land cost. That's, and I guess, I probably go too far one way, and make, because I own more of the share milking company than the land, I probably disadvantage the share milk and want to make sure that it's always paying its way, and whereas they're probably the opposite, and doing so. Again, that comes back down to people, and the biggest thing I guess in that I didn't touch on it is trust, and they always have huge trust in what we do. They basically just instill us to run that, and I can't underestimate the value of that trust and what that does. So very easily eroded and hard to work on, but so important to keep.
So we'll just take a question above the board up here. What would you give your children if they want to start their own business?
Good luck.
Yep.
What I give my children if they want to start their own? Well, they've got a long way to go yet. Encouragement. I would give them sound advice or marginal advice. That's all they need. They just need a good grounding, etc. Money's. We were fortunate to actually in a separate business that didn't go as well. To get a guarantee off our parents, we weren't guaranteed for this one. We're really happy to be able to do it within the business. We've got 3 other brothers that were pretty keen on investing money elsewhere or being a drain, whatever way you want to view it. So I didn't want to be the only one that prevented one of my other brothers from having an opportunity. So I would give them good advice and kick them off to the other island of the country, or even better still over the other side of the world, and make their own way in life, because that's where the real enjoyment comes from, is battling in those hard years and to succeed, because if you're just given it, you just don't appreciate it. That would be my take.
Yeah, and they're going to have a great role model in you as well, and how you've actually set up your business and what you've done. So that goes a long way. Like you've proven, you don't have to have all the money in the world to make the decisions. Like you said, you've gone out and you found someone with in your own words experience, and you've brought in the energy into the business, and that's been a really fantastic combination for you to help you to achieve your goals.
I find when you've got those skills and knowledge, and a bit of energy helps. So
it does.
It comes up a lot of other things.
And tends to be the more experienced people have, the less energy they have at times.
So, and it is right about finding a good partnership, and it works really well what we've got, and you don't know until you start looking at who's out there, etc., and make sure that you do align. The temptation can be getting into something that you've got question marks about, and if you're not 100% committed or sure, then you probably and not worth doing. The people side of it is hard to manage. You can manage your way through a marginal farm, but marginal people is very hard.
And anyone who wants to find where these 10 driveways are beside these fathers probably need to come and talk to them afterwards for opportunities. But thank you very much, Will. It's been awesome. Round of applause, please.
Thanks so much for that. Well, we were laughing because somebody put up that they want you to adopt them. I'm probably a wee bit old to be adopted by you, but probably old enough to adopt you. Look, you are exceptional, and what I got out of that, it was mindset and attitude, and one size won't fit all. So if you can't find the opportunity out there that's for you, it's not going to come to you. You actually have to go create it. So thank you so much. Well, can we have another round of applause for this?